Welcome to The Experience, live with Russ and Scott. Join us every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Learn more about the Experience community at our website, local.theexperience.video, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Experience is brought to you each week by these great sponsors. Jim Coolman Insurance. Since 2003, focusing on auto, home, and life insurance. Contact Jim and his team at 541-753-2500 or online at jimcoolman.com. Capital Mortgage Source. Your trusted mortgage professional is just a click away. Call 541-829-8042 or capitalmortgagesource.com. Albany Area Habitat for Humanity is partnered with families, volunteers, donors, businesses, and community organizations to create safe, affordable housing. Albany Area HFH.org. James Reed Agency, specializing in comprehensive coverage for nonprofits, ministries, small businesses, and personal lines of coverage across the Northwest. JamesReedAgency.com or call 503-588-8229. And now let's get on with the show. Yeah, and that'd be the show right here, The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And there's Russ and I'm Scott.
Hey, Scott, how are you?
You know, I'm doing good. We are both in different locations today. I'm in Sedona, Arizona, and you are at home, but not in your office.
No, in bed. Yeah, trying to rest up and get ready for surgery tomorrow. So been a blessing that I've actually been able to be home with my beautiful wife and family for a couple days. Was in the hospital 5 or 6 days before that, and then be back in the hospital for a couple days after the surgery. So trusting God and believing for good results, and here we go.
Well, we're gonna power on here. We have guest Kim Speed, but because of different activities that are going on in our lives, which we just heard about some of yours, and we just had the celebration of life for my wife Christine in Oregon, the Oregon version of that this past weekend. Things are a little bit in turmoil. Turned up here.
A little crazy right now. I'm so sorry that I missed that. Christine, what a wonderful, wonderful person, and just has really blessed so many people for God. And I just am so thankful for her.
Yeah, so we have our guest, Kim Speed, and we're going to bring her on stage in just a moment here. But Russ, I just want you to know, of course, that lots of people around the world are praying for you as you go into this surgery tomorrow. And we look forward to hearing good results from that. I know that the doctors, the teams there are really working hard and using all of the available technology there at Oregon Health Sciences University to bring you back to full health.
Yeah, and I am so grateful. I mean, God is so good, and he's got wonderful doctors and people around me, and been such blessed with great care. And so, looking forward to, they think, brain surgery, no big deal. No big deal. So they're very confident, which of course gives me confidence too,
I love it. I love it. That's great. Well, let's bring Kim into the stage because she is such a remarkable person. And as we say, we have the most remarkable people on the planet here on The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. So Kim, welcome.
Thank you so much, Russ. I can't believe you're here. I've been watching and following you. I just assumed we were not going to be doing this today, so apologies for thinking that. And Go Russ, and prayers to you.
Thank you. I appreciate your prayers, and I am resting. I thought I would just pop in, and I just wanted to say hi to you and be a little part of things. So, yeah,
Oh,
I can still speak a little bit. That's good.
oh, that is amazing. I am so, so happy to see you and just have a chance to say hello and tell you that I am thinking of you. I'm praying for you. I'm a huge supporter of you, and I'm
Thank
just
you.
so blessed to have a chance to say hello to you today.
Well, thank you. I definitely believe God's not done with me yet, so I'm going to keep moving.
Yay. Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, Russ, we'll let you stay here with us as long as you want. And Kim, let's get into your world a little bit. Tell us what is going on in Kim Speed's world.
Well, so much. You know what? I'm so happy that the weather is wonderful and we're having, you know, the flowers are all out. I love this time of year, enjoying, seeing the gardens grow and the colors come out. So in my world, this is a time to get out and see more than my four office walls for a change, which which I do spend a lot of time in. And because I love what I do, I really love helping people to build their businesses and get the word out about their expertise. There's so many good people in the world that have so much expertise, and they struggle sometimes to get that word out. So anything I can do to help that, I'm in, especially for the solopreneurs, those people that have left the world of employment and are starting to share their gifts with other people, but need a little help to get that word out.
Well, Kim, I just wanted
Yeah,
to
so
say that you do such a great job of helping people, and there's so many people that need that encouragement, inspiration, and help to know they can do it, and there's other people around them. I can verify with all the support that I've been receiving how much that lifts you up in life, no matter what's going on, good or bad. And a lot of times people in business just get really stuck and confused and don't know what to do. But when they know other people have been going through that or are going through that and they have solutions, it helps them. And you're so good at doing that.
Oh, thank you, Russ. You know what? I really love doing this. It's really a passion of mine, to help people, because I have been through the struggle. Even coming from the world of corporate marketing, where I thought, oh, I know everything. I can start a business. Not really. So I learned, that I had to find out and be mentored and guided. And I was so lucky to find some really good people to help me along the way. So anything I can do to help other people, I'm there.
So let's Kim, let's get a rundown of the kinds of folks that you work with and the services that you offer.
So I am really focused on those service-based entrepreneurs, those people that are working a lot on their own, the independent business owners, I call them. They've left a corporate position where they've learned a lot of their expertise. They're using their knowledge, their skills, their talents, and their passions to help other people. So they're experts in their own right, and they're the people that I help by turning their business into their best asset. So I really work on the brand foundations, and really teaching people how to understand that a brand is one of your best assets, and how it can help you if you do it right, it can be the thing that sells you before you have to have that sales conversation. It shows up before you have arrived, and it stays around, and it's the thing that gets you recognized and remembered.
Yeah, I think that very good point. Visibility is so important, and how people recognize you and remember you, because we are all easily forgotten in this busy world, and people move along so quickly. And so I think that ways to stay in that are so helpful from people like you, Kim.
Well, and just like you guys, I love what you do. You help people show up, you give them a stage, and I love doing the same thing. Sometimes it's just about having those conversations, building the relationships. And I remember talking to you, Russ and Scott. You were so big on just making marketing a little more accessible, and it's really can be much easier than sometimes we get all stressed about. It's really about having some of those conversations with people. Listening is huge, and I know both of you do a really good job of that.
Well, thank you for that. Yeah, I always say that uh, the first step in selling anything, right, in solving a problem for something, matching them up with they have a problem, they need a solution. The first step in selling anything is making it available to be purchased. That
Yes.
is, people need to know what problem you solve, who you solve it for, and then they can take an action from there. And this is really, I see the direction that you're going is people have this deep knowledge. They may have acquired it through the corporate world, like yourself, and then through circumstances, had an opportunity to launch on their own. And I want to hear a little bit I want you to share a little bit about your background as well. But yeah, it isn't just build it and they will come. It's build it and then let the right people know who have that problem
Yeah,
come,
yeah.
and they come.
Well, and one of the things that I really try to focus on with people is it's almost that it's like a translation. It's translating your expertise into their struggle language. So, so we have something that we think is valuable and that we offer, but a lot of times we speak in our own terms, and it misses the mark with people. But that's why it's so important to really understand who you're selling to and what their struggles might be, so that you can talk to them in a way that gets them to say, oh yes, you understand me. I have that problem and I need help with that. And that's why building up who you are, really knowing who you are and who you serve and how that's going to affect them is a big part of what I do. But yeah, Scott, one of the reasons that I've become so proficient at this is because I did struggle in the beginning. And I was given an interesting opportunity to become an entrepreneur. I wasn't ever thinking that I was going to be an entrepreneur. I went and I followed the path that everybody was told to take. I was, the good person where you go to school, you work hard, you graduate, you go and get a job, you work in that company and do really well, you work your way up, or you change companies to something that's a better opportunity. But funny things happen, things change. in 2008, 2009, there was this crazy, recession, they called it. And the agency that I was working at as a creative director, which I loved working at, we had a great team. We worked on, some great global brands. But one of the big brands that we worked at moved their business. And it was a big blow to us. So they had to lay people off. And I was one of those people that was part of that. So that's okay, because that kind of thing happened. So that wasn't, the most devastating thing that happened to me. But what did happen was being able to go home and as I was, reaching out, networking with people, finding out what new opportunities there might be, I was at home with my kids for the first time in a long time, spending quality hours with them, not rushing in the morning, running around with my hair on fire, trying to get out the door. And, it always seems that, one of us was upset about something every morning because we're trying to rush. And then at the end of the day, rushing out of work, trying to get home, trying to get, meals, trying to get kids to activities, trying to have a moment with them, and it felt like my moment of pleasure with my own kids, my family was, reduced to half an hour or so before they went to bed, when we got to read a book or something. But the rest of the day was rush, rush, rush. But I didn't even realize it. I had not even thought that this was, well, it was normal for so many people. But I never thought that I didn't enjoy it, or, it didn't occur to me to think twice about it, because that's the way you did things. You followed the path. You did what everybody did. And that's what I had been doing until I had this opportunity. I call it a gift I was given, a gift of a glimpse at how life could be different. And there was time. It was so much more pleasurable and joyful in our house. I felt like I was getting to know my family again for the first time. So with that opportunity, I just turned around and said, I loved what I did. I loved working for, advertising and working with, a great team, but it wasn't worth it. I wanted to keep my life with my family the way it was. And I didn't want to go rushing to a corporate position again. So I hung my shingle out, and, it was a really great step to take. I loved it. And for the first couple of years, it was fantastic because I had so many people in my network that were needing people that had work and projects to give. So it started off excellent. And, I was able to manage my family life and have some balance and still create an income or replace my income. So in the beginning, it was great.
Going out on your own, being an entrepreneur, I always say that, you're an entrepreneur if you feel like throwing up at least once a day. First of all, you're going to throw up because you feel like throwing up because you think you're going to starve. And then you think you're going to throw up, you feel like throwing up because all of these people who need your help, and you're thinking, how am I going to fit all this in? I don't have a big staff that I can hand this out to. I need it. I do it.
Yeah.
I said one time that, when you're an entrepreneur, especially a solo entrepreneur, you're the C everything, the chief executive, the chief marketing, chief financial officer. But a friend of mine thought I said the SEE, the C every, C.
Oh,
I go,
yeah.
nope, that's true. I said that's absolutely true as well. You are the C everything. I want to get some practical advice, Kim, from you for folks that are out there that are either currently working as solo entrepreneurs, thinking about doing this, or maybe they've got a side gig that they're trying to grow, because there are differences between marketing yourself as a small business where you have a finite capacity. You can't handle thousands of customers or even dozens of customers every month. You just need a handful, and you cannot take the Nike model, the Apple model of advertising. They have already spent billions of dollars, and all they need to flash is a little swoosh, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, all that. You can't just flash your logo up there and think the world is going to come. So, what are some of the differences that we as small businesses need to know?
Well, one of the things that I would say in, the difference between a corporate brand and a small business brand is you really need to be able to uh, be comfortable with being the spokesperson of your own brand. Show people who you are, be the real person behind it. And you are probably somebody, if you've been working in corporate, you've been able to hide behind a big, huge brand. And that's, there to support you. Or the other thing that so many people do is that they're used to having that title that supports them. They hide behind this. It's not even hiding behind, but you're so used to being presented as so-and-so and the title that you have in your business.
Well, and we work hard for those titles, right?
Yes,
To
yes.
become a
And we're
vice
very proud of
president
them. We're
and
very proud.
director. Yeah, but it's different on LinkedIn, right? When you're
Yeah.
that solo entrepreneur, being the executive, vice president for whatever, means something within your company, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything potential customers.
No.
One of the best LinkedIn profiles that I saw had the person's name, and right below that, in that little space, it said, "I help successful business owners start and launch a podcast in 90 days or less." And I
I
thought that is
love that.
some of the best use of real estate, because I'm like, I'm a successful business owner. I
Yeah.
want a podcast. I don't want it to take it forever, right?
Yes, yes.
And so, yeah, titles. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I've run a lot of small businesses, and I had the title of chief operating officer, chief executive officer, and the entire company could show up at an event in the same minivan. And
Yeah.
so, it's really what's the time? But well, I'll just say my mother liked it, right? I gave her a
Yeah.
card with it,
Yeah.
so made my mother happy. That was the best thing that a title can do. But in a small business, this messaging, give us some tips here for the small businesses that are out there.
Yeah. One of the things is people that you're going to be working with or selling with. And as you said, Scott, you don't need like hundreds of thousands of clients if you're selling a service, because if you're providing that service, like you said, you have a finite amount of space in your life to service them. So what you're looking for is the people that have a problem that you can solve. And a lot of times speaking directly about that, the value that you bring, the problem that you solve, let people know, because I see so many people out there, and like I have a lot of people that'll come to me and say, I think I need a new tagline and a logo. That'll be the solution. And what I'll say to those people is, that's the last thing you need. When I when I started working with small business owners, I had to change my whole thinking on brand building. It's not like the big corporations. What we want to do is build a brand, and what people come to me for is their branding, and those are two different things. What people want is a logo, their colors, their fonts, their taglines, their fancy websites. And that, it's important to a degree, but really it's secondary. That's your branding. What you have to build first is your brand. And your brand is really about who you are, what you stand for, who you help, what problems you can provide a solution for to people that really helps them. What are you helping people solve? What can you do that people need? And really, if you think about it, a brand is building your reputation. So if you switch out the word reputation, for brand, or brand for reputation, those are interchangeable. And you realize if you don't have your reputation, then you're really going to be struggling. So you can see how important a brand really is to your business. And I'll tell you, you can have a business and make money without all the branding done, but you really got to figure out who you are and what you're doing to help people. And that's part of the foundation of a brand. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. You don't need to have your fancy website all complete, and you don't even need a logo. Start using your own image and show up.
I love that. I have talked to so many people and helped them start their businesses, and people spend just an unreal amount of time looking for a name in a website domain, right? You go, oh, this is a great name. Oh, the domain's taken. So, I always said that the business name, the caption website, the tagline, all that, the logo, those are all things that surround a business, but none of them are businesses.
Right.
And if we were talking and you're saying, I'd like to start a business, and here's the problem I solve, but I just can't think of the name. And I said, when it comes down to it and you solve a problem for a person, they say, thank you. Who do I make the check out to? I said, how about Kim Speed?
Yeah.
Right. This is like, you don't need Intercontinental Galactic Enterprises Consolidated Amalgamate. You don't need a name, right? You don't need anything clever. It's just like, make the check out to Scott. Right. I solved your problem. That's it.
Yeah. And it's the same thing with taglines. Like, so many people want, the just do it, that type of tagline. And I say to them, Nike is able to do a tagline like that because they have millions of dollars that have already built up what that means. And they can continue to tell you what that means with all the money that they spend. You don't need a tagline that tells, like, you can use your name as your business. And if you want a tagline, make it clear, not clever, about what you do. That could be your tagline. I am Kim Speed and I help people build brands. Make it simple so that they understand. Yeah. Don't make people work at it.
I love that. It's so in the hierarchy, you get mission and vision and all that stuff. And I always put right at the top purpose. And this is not that kind of esoteric. If you're a real estate broker, when people say, what do you do? Don't say, I help people realize the dreams for an infinite life and all that stuff. It's like, just say, I am a seller's agent for real estate, right? I have people sell their houses, or I am a real estate agent that helps buyers find the right home, right? Yeah. It's so Nike, and I'll just pick on them because being from the Northwest and watching them grow since I was in high school, that the imaging commercials that they use, people, they never say what they sell. They never go, and these brand new Air Jordans are now only $395, right? Get 5% off if you do this, right? They just show these athletes, and you would never know that they sell shoes and athletic wear.
Yeah.
But they don't have to, because they've spent millions, tens of hundreds, billions on advertising. But for us, I'm like, it's like, if you are a web expert and you build websites for contractors, then when someone asks you what you do, just say, I build websites for contractors.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? Exactly. Just be simple.
Yeah. So that people get it. especially if you're doing a website. If you want your website, if you want somebody to land on it and stay on it, make sure that they understand that you do something that they're looking for right away at the top.
Yeah, it was, I'm trying to forget, or trying to remember, not trying to forget, trying to remember who was it? But anyway, they had a painting contractor website, and it was interior, exterior, commercial, industrial, all this, their website was so complicated. And then they changed it to just a picture, maybe even a video of like a painter painting a wall with a, you know, inquire here. And this is like, is it interior? Is it exterior? Is it residential? Is it, then they could ask the questions.
Yeah.
But it was like, I know what they do, right? It wasn't
Yes.
very clever as far as complicated. Simple is better, I guess, is what I'm saying.
It's completely true. Like you need to, and that's why I say we spend so much time trying to be clever and say, witty words, thinking that people will think that that's so interesting. A lot of times they don't have time, especially these days. We're all so busy rushing. People don't have time to decipher what you're saying. Just let them know what you do.
Yeah, I'm visiting here in Sedona, got visiting my family, and but I may end up spending more time here in Sedona. So I thought I just need to get out and meet a few people. So I got on the Chamber of Commerce website and found out that they had a ribbon cutting yesterday. And so I went to the ribbon cutting and I, meet some people. And so you're a banker, and what do you do? Real estate person. And they asked me, what do you do? And I said, I have a radio show.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a radio show.
And then, and that's it. Right. I mean, I don't need to, I don't need to say, well, I leverage the airwaves monitored by the Federal Communication to, whatever.
Yeah.
Share, this is like, don't be weird. Just tell people what you do.
Yeah. And that's why I always say I do brand and marketing for small business.
It's so clear. So I want you to just share the final tips with folks, with our small businesses, and those again that are thinking about doing this. Do it right from the beginning. Give them some tips. And how do people get a hold of you and do business with you? Because you have an amazing brain, and people need to come in and extract some information so their lives can be better.
Well, my one thing I would say to people that are thinking of starting a business or have just recently started, relationships with other business owners is going to be key to your success. Find your community, find a group of people, like-minded people to hang out with, because that's how I learned so much. And the other thing is be open. Listen to what people have to say. You're going to be able to grow so much if you just take a moment and listen and learn from people. So relationships and learning, that's the big thing in starting out. And get out there and don't worry about, fancy logos and taglines. So that would be my tip is if you're starting out as an entrepreneur, those would be my things I would suggest. And if you'd love to connect, I love connecting with people. I love chatting with people. So you can find me on LinkedIn under Kim Speed. I also have a YouTube channel at the Kim Speed that you can find me at. So come and connect with me.
And people can go to your website, purplemooncreative.com.
Yes.
And learn more there as well. Kim, thank you so much for just sharing such great insights with us today. on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. And Russ was actually here for a bit, which was great.
Oh,
So,
I
with that,
feel like that was a bonus today.
I'm with you, and just remind people, pray for Russ. Reach out to him on his LinkedIn profile. You can find Russ Hedge pretty easily, and go to local.theexperience.video and find all of the shows that we've got going on and all of the opportunities to connect. Kim, thank you for being just a fabulous person. I'm going to roll our end credits and say thank you to everybody. Thank you for those watching. Please share this video out, and thank you forever for making everything work on the back end. We'll talk to you all soon. Have a fabulous day.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks for tuning in to The Experience Live with Russ and Scott. If you enjoyed today's show, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or subscribe on YouTube. See you next time.